We're at 1211 East 16th Street in Plano, Texas, at the Carpenter house. Well, it is on the historical registry here in the city of Plano, and it was started in 1895 and completed in 1898, so it's 109 years old. It's been on the same location for 109 years. It was built by Colonel Overacre, who was a colonel in the Civil War, came back, he owned the lumber yard in Plano, and he built the house because he was getting married and he wanted a place to bring his new bride and also a place to entertain. I suspect he also wanted to make sure that people knew all of the wonderful things that his artisans who worked at the lumber yard could do. And so it was advertising as well. The house has historical significance for the people of Plano because it is one of the few surviving homes from that era. Many of the homes that were built closer into the downtown area were destroyed in two fires that occurred around the turn of the century. So this one survives and is a classic example of Victorian architecture. And having stood here for 109 years, it is definitely a place that the people of Plano should be very proud of. Well, the Carpenter house has not had as many owners as you might think for a house that's 109 years old. Colonel Overacre and his wife lived in the house until about 1919. They sold the house to the Carpenter family, and the Carpenter family and their heirs lived in the house until the 1950s. Mr. Edwards, who was the mayor of Plano, bought the house in the 70s to restore it for the bicentennial. Then the Edwards family owned it until Yvonne Cross bought it. She actually leased it for a year and started doing weddings and got bed and breakfast zoning from the city. And then she bought the house in the early 90s, and then we bought it from her in 2000. Inside there are two large parlors downstairs, one on the east side, one on the west side. On the east side we have pocket doors that separate the large area into two smaller areas, and there is a restroom that was added in the 70s that is also downstairs. On the west side of the house there was a wall that was removed, and we have two rooms that were made into a single large area over there. What would have been the men's smoking parlor and the dining area are all now one large room. Upstairs we have 4 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. 2 of the bathrooms were added in 91. The woodwork throughout the house is all hand carved and is original. Above all the doors and transoms you will find the carving on the cornice boards. And there's a fan design that's carved on the newel post on the stairs and goes all the way up the stairs. There are 14 stained glass windows that are original to the house. They have the gold diamond with the rose-colored glass around them. There is another beautiful stained glass window next door to the front door that came from a church in Pennsylvania. It was circa 1890s, so it definitely was the same era as the house, but it was added in 1970s when they were redoing the house. The Carpenter house is open to the public for them to be able to rent for weddings and receptions, parties, bridal showers, rehearsal dinners, that sort of thing. We are also a bed and breakfast, and we are one of many structures that are on the historical walking tour of Plano so that people can see a lot of places that were a part of the downtown area around the turn of the century. For more information about the Carpenter house and information about what we do here, you can go to www.thecarpenterhouse.com, or you can call 972-424-1889.